We're at the Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg. From the start, your ticket tells you which entrance to take. The word apartheid means separation, and you're immediately confronted by that here. Inside, the identity cards of people classified as non-white. Those had to be carried around at all times. Apartheid was a political and social system in South Africa while it was under white minority rule. The system divided people by their race and forced them to live apart from each other. But the history of segregation in this country has been around for much longer.
The migrant labor system, these were the creation by the British, which is still in operation today. That was created, it destroyed peasant agriculture, it destroyed the families, and these families are still destroyed today. It created massive poverty.
South Africa's apartheid government detained thousands of people over the years. 115 of them died in detention. The road to freedom was a long one, bloody and steeped in pain.
Well, I think my starkest memory was the arrest of my father in 1963 and the sentencing to a life imprisonment in 1964. To me, that was the starkest experience I had at that time. I think I was 17 years old when that was happening.
In 1976, students took up the cause. And it was here in the iconic suburb of Soweto that Hector Peterson died, just a boy caught up in a bloody crackdown on protesting youths. The image of him dying in the arms of another student became synonymous with South Africa's struggle for freedom. But in 1994, pain turned to hope for South Africa. There's no denying the unifying force of one man, Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, the first leader of a free South Africa.
Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another.
South Africa entered a new era because 27 April 1994, which was the day of the first general elections when people like you and me could vote, that was the day.
Perhaps one of the most inspiring aspects of freedom is South Africa's constitution and the women and men from all sectors of society who crafted it. South Africa's constitution is considered one of the most progressive in the world. The Constitutional Court behind me is the highest judicial authority in the land. So decisions made here truly shape this society.
When you look at our constitution, you see that it envisages that South Africa must have a certain type of society. There is a society that it envisages, and all of us are called upon to every day work towards the attainment of that society. That is a society where there is equality between genders. That is a society where there is no racism. That is a society where we care for one another. It is a society where there is fairness, there is justice.
It's been more than 20 years since the majority of South Africans gained freedom. There's no denying that the country still has a long way to go. That's why spaces like Freedom Park in the capital Pretoria are so important, bringing a more honest view of South Africa's past.
Freedom Park is very important in terms of remembrance of the history of South Africa. It is important because we deal with issues of liberation struggle. Those are national, continental, and international issues. And in doing so, we are also recognizing not only the contribution of the people of South Africa, we are also recognizing the influences and the support that we got from the international world, from our own continent.
These, the names of some of those who died in South African conflicts, regardless of race, gender, or creed. Thousands of names have already been carved into this wall at Freedom Park. Thousands more will follow.
The people of South Africa put in a huge effort to get the freedom that they eventually got in 1994. It was a massive, massive effort from a position of huge disadvantage.
But in the end, South Africa is looking towards something brighter, something more than its past, more than its present. With an emphatic nod to the contributions and friendships made on this continent. Lindy Mtongana, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.